What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. We've got plenty of news, including an update on potentially Kalidou Koulibaly joining Manchester City in the summer, and also an update on Leroy Sane and his move to Bayern Munich. But before we crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content and you want to help support my channel, then press that red button, subscribe and press the bell to put your push notifications on. I'm aiming for 7,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. At the time of recording, we've smashed past 6,500 subscribers. We're on the long straight now towards 7,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. I'm hoping to hit that within the next month or so, so thank you everyone for the continued support. It is much appreciated. You can find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. When the transfer window opens, I'll be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates, so you got that to look forward to. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. We hit or smashed past 100 likes last time. I set a like goal, so this time we're going to increase it by 50%, add that on top, 150 likes. If we can hit 150 likes, that would be unbelievable. And don't forget, also leave your thoughts in the comments below with these transfers in this video. And just on a last note, I'll be doing my live stream tonight of the Chelsea versus Manchester City game in the Premier League. Of course, Liverpool won yesterday, which means if Manchester City do not win tonight, Liverpool will win the Premier League. I'll be giving you my live match preview before the game, my live watch-along and match reaction to the game, and of course, my match analysis after the game. So we've got that to look forward to. I'll leave the link to that in the description below, or you can just go and check that out on my channel, which is my previous video, which you could just set a reminder for. So we're going to crack on with this video, and we're going to start off with the ins first, and we've got an update on Kalidou Koulibaly, the very reliable, and I'm saying it ironically before anyone starts taking me too seriously, Duncan Castles. He's reporting that Kalidou Koulibaly believes that he'll be playing for Manchester City from next season. How Duncan Castles would know this is well beyond me. Anyway, Kalidou Koulibaly, he's a powerful centre-back. He's quick, he's a good passer, he's got a good physical presence to him. He's got all the attributes, in my opinion, of being a top-class Premier League centre-back. The one problem we've got is he's 29 years old, and Napoli want a big fee. Duncan Castles is reporting £72 million just last summer. We know that Napoli were looking for over €100 million. I even heard towards €120 million. So it's going to be a difficult deal for City to get done for that price. And I say that because we'll get 4 or 5 seasons out of Koulibaly, and then he'll be either sold for a small fee or released on a free contract. So £72 million for a player to leave for free. 5 seasons sounds like a long time, but for that price it actually isn't, and there's no sell-on value for Manchester City here, and so it makes the transfer, in my opinion anyway, bad for business. City like to sign players that are relatively younger, that they'll either get a long service out of them, so I'm talking 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons out of them. So think of players like Sergio Aguero, David Silva, Yaya Toure, these players that were here for a long period of time for Manchester City, who will all leave, or all have left or will leave for free, basically, but City will have got their money for their value for how long they've been here, whereas 4 or 5 seasons isn't really cutting it, and we're not making any money on Kalidou Koulibaly. It's bad for business. Man City want to be a self-sustaining business, and the only way for them to do that is to sign young, affordable players that at some point, if they do want to leave, we can make a profit on them, which is what we're trying to do with Leroy Sane, signing for, I think it was around nearly £40 million, trying to run down his contract. Obviously, it's not ideal, and he could leave for free, which again is bad for business, and that's just how the situation has developed. But we still stand the case that if we can sell him this summer, that we're still going to make some money on him, whereas with Koulibaly, we're not. And that's the case that we're dealing with. Don't get me wrong, I think he'd be a wonderful player. I'd love him at Manchester City, just not for £72 million. I mean, if I'm just talking personally, my own opinion, half it and take off some more, I'm talking £20 to £30 million if Koulibaly was available for that, which I know for a fact he won't be. If he was available for that price, I would want him. But it's just not how City do their business anymore. We don't need to sign players that are into their prime and exiting their prime very soon. We're wanting to sign the next big players and make them into quality players and improve them players. That's always how City do their business. And so if we was going to be spending that amount of money, it'd make more sense for us to go out there and spend a little bit extra. I'm talking like an extra £8 million and sign someone like Ruben Diaz, who is obviously a lot younger than what Kalidou Koulibaly is, and there'd be a sell-on value there. So, like I said, if he was affordable and it was a good price for City, then I'd say go for it, like 20 or 30 million pound. We have 20 or 30 million pound. We can make that money back on player sales alone. That, you know, we'd pick up a top-class player. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, to make him our main priority centre-back just doesn't make sense, and so that's me dismissing the rumour. But I would love Koulibaly at City if it was for the right price. So we're moving on instead. And this is really interesting. It's not really an update, it's more of what's happening elsewhere in the market and what it means for Manchester City. And it comes in the form of an update on Houssem Aouar. Now, it's interesting because Arthur, the central midfielder at Barcelona, is set to sign for Juventus, £72 million. Juventus were previously linked with Aouar, who is also a central midfielder, and they were favourites to bring him in, and he was prioritising a move to Turin. That was on my last update that I had on Houssem Aouar. And so I find that really interesting that actually Juventus have gone after someone else and not just spent money, but they've spent big. £72 million is a lot of money. That's them signing a central midfielder. I don't know the ins and outs of Juventus's transfer strategy and whether they're looking for more players in that central midfield area, in which case they might try and sign both. With the pandemic going on and the money situation that's going on in football, I doubt it, but I could be wrong. And so, if that's Juventus out of the race, PSG apparently have also pulled out of the race. It leaves Manchester City. But Pep has given an update on central midfielders potentially joining Man City. He's dismissed that. He's also dismissed us signing attackers too, even stating that İlkay Gundogan can play up front. So yeah, he's also dismissed us potentially replacing Leroy Sane too. I think Pep's got concerns over finances, but that's just how it is. And so we don't know what we're going to be signing. What I will say, I reckon 3 signings this summer: a centre-back, so it won't be 2, it'll just be 1, a left-back, and I reckon we'll also sign either, not both positions, just one, either a central midfielder or a left winger, depending on who we want to replace Leroy Sane with. And if there's no one affordable, I can see us then potentially targeting a central midfielder. Obviously, Phil Foden's going to be Manchester City's new David Silva replacement. He's ready to step in stone to make that transition. Instead, City could be looking for a central midfielder that can cover all aspects of areas, and it would also allow other players in that central midfield area to become versatile and go and play in other positions. I'm talking Kevin De Bruyne can potentially play on that right wing. I'm talking De Bruyne can probably play on the left wing too. Phil Foden can play out wide as well. So if that happens, then players, if there's an injury to anyone on the wings, they can then move out wide, and then we have enough cover in central midfield to still continue playing our 3 in central midfield with David Silva leaving. So I reckon it'll either be a winger or a central midfielder that we will sign. I reckon 3 signings for City this summer. Potentially was looking at 4 or 5. 2 centre-backs were included in that. That might have to wait until January or next summer for things to sort itself out. And of course, that will become 4 signings should Cancelo leave. But I'm anticipating Cancelo staying at Manchester City. So I reckon 3 new signings this summer. Anyway, moving on. A new name, Josh Adam. He plays for Celtic, 16-year-old attacking midfielder. He has joined Manchester City's academy, according to Sam Wallace at the Telegraph. He's going to be on a scholarship deal. And then when he turns 17, he's going to be offered his first professional contract for Manchester City. Apparently, though, Josh Adam, he has turned down approaches from Borussia Dortmund, Red Bull Leipzig and Chelsea to join Manchester City. That's what I like to hear. If this is true, I want to give a big warm welcome to Josh joining Manchester City. Now, I've got an update on Jadon Sancho. It's been reported this morning that Borussia Dortmund are wanting a whopping £117 million. It's not even euro, pounds, for the young Englishman. Now, apparently, it's just Manchester United that are now keen on bringing Jadon Sancho in. Of course. That price is just too expensive for City. They're not going to pay that. That's that dismissed right there. End of the matter. But what I will say is if Man United are crazy enough to pay £117 million for Jadon Sancho. Apparently City have got a 15% sell-on fee attached to their deal, which saw Jadon Sancho leave for free with a compensation deal to Borussia Dortmund. I didn't know that we had a 15% sell-on fee added, but apparently we have. Don't know how true that is, but if it is true, and he leaves for £117 million to join United, then City are going to get a cool £17.55, done the maths, million pounds for nothing. That's why City like to put sell-on fees there. It means we can also get £17.55 million knocked off the price, so we could sign Sancho if we wanted for £100 million, which is also too expensive. Now, we're going to move on to the outs. We've got an update on Claudio Bravo. The Sun, they're reporting that he is a shock target for Arsenal this summer. Apparently Mikel Arteta is keen on the Manchester City man whose contract is up this summer. Apparently Arteta wants a reunion with Claudio Bravo. Sports Witness are reporting that Besiktas in Turkey are interested in competing with Arsenal to bring in Claudio Bravo. They've even spoken with his agent, and previously Claudio Bravo, as I've reported here on my transfer updates, has also apparently he's out on the radar for Celtic to bring him into, so he's got 3 clubs there that are chasing his signature. Pep has confirmed in his pre-match press conference yesterday with that match against Chelsea that Claudio Bravo's future will be decided in the coming days. I'm going to presume that he's going to be given an extension as he's now fit again to join Manchester City or stay at City until the end of this season. What happens from there, I do not know. He is free to speak to other clubs, though, at this moment in time. So we'll see what's happening. It's running tight, though. June 30th is fast approaching. If no deal is signed, Claudio Bravo on July 1st could well not be a Manchester City player anymore. Now, on our final story, it brings us to Leroy Sane. His move to Bayern Munich has stalled. CF Bayern on Twitter are reporting that Bayern Munich still do not want to pay any more than that £36 million that's being quoted for Leroy Sane. Man City want nearly double that price. Because there is a huge gap in valuation, this transfer is now stalling. This now brings about potentially 3 possibilities, possibly 4. The 4th is extremely unlikely, but I'm going to speak about them. It means now that Leroy Sane could choose to stay at Manchester City for the next season, then leave for free in the summer. He is free to speak to clubs from abroad as of January to sign a pre-contract agreement, which I'm going to presume would be Bayern Munich. That is option number 1. Option number 2 is Leroy Sane stays at Manchester City until the winter. City don't want to lose him for free. He's free to speak to other clubs, but City could still decide to sell Leroy Sane, which potentially could be to Bayern Munich, and it's going to be a lot less than the £70 million that City are looking for. It's more than likely going to be less than the £36 million that Bayern are willing to pay, but City still make a little bit of money back. It won't be that much, but City would have to decide what happens there. City are more than happy for Leroy Sane to stay and leave for free next summer. So that's option number 2. Number 3, the clubs continue their negotiations until there is an agreement. I've been looking around the Bayern Munich fans and what they're saying. They know that £36 million is not what Leroy Sane's value is. They're more than happy, I've heard, for somewhere between 50 and 60 million euro. That sounds about right to them. So looking at about 45, 50 million pounds is what they feel is right. And that's meeting Manchester City halfway. That's what Bayern Munich aren't willing to do at this moment in time, and why that transfer is stalling. But the one, and it's the most unlikely of options, but Manchester City, apparently it's been reported this morning, will make one final attempt for Leroy Sane to sign a new contract at City, with the news that the move to Bayern Munich is stalling and that they're miles away from evaluation, and it looks, well, more likely at this moment in time of him not joining Bayern Munich this summer than likely that they'll put out a contract there. But Bayern Munich being very stubborn, it's one of those that could go right down to the wire in the transfer window for this summer. Bayern Munich, though, are more than happy, it sounds like, to walk away, and they seem extremely confident that Leroy Sane will be signing for them. And so there is a potential option that Sane could join someone else, or someone else become interested, but he seems set in stone that he wants a return home. and he wants to join Bayern Munich, and that's the important factor here. But it'd be interesting if another club did come in, what would happen there. I'm sure there'll be plenty more updates on this, so I'm going to keep you up to date with that every step of the way. So make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on to be notified immediately when I upload, so you can stay in the loop with the latest Manchester City news and transfer news. Like I said, aiming for 7,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. You can find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget also email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. Don't forget also leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, aiming for 150 likes, and don't forget also leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again for tonight's video, the live stream of the Manchester City match away at Chelsea. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.